Greeting viewers, welcome back with another episode of our weekly news updates. This is Umar from the Pakistan chapter. If you're watching this video for the first time and would want to watch more of such videos, kindly like and subscribe to our channel. If you would want to watch the recent video made by us for the last week, link would be attached in the description section. Thank you so much for watching. As per the weekly news updates of the week ended 11th May, on first is a visit of Saudi delegation to Pakistan. A high-level Saudi business delegation led by the kingdom's Assistant Minister of Investment Ibrahim Al Mubarak arrived in Pakistan on Sunday, 5th May, to explore investment opportunities in various economic sectors.
वो तशरीफ ला रहे हैं और अपने साथ 30 से 35 कंपनियां लेकर आ रहे हैं.
Pakistan's Commerce Minister Jam Kamal Khan and Petroleum Minister Musaddiq Malik received the 50-member Saudi delegation at the Noor Khan Air Base in Kazan city of Rawalpindi. The 3-day visit of the delegation was aimed to promote trade relations between investors of the two countries with regard to various business opportunities in Pakistan.
And become more profitable to achieve the vision that you have laid before us. So this gathering provides a wonderful opportunity for them to develop a deeper understanding of the great opportunities available for investment in Pakistan and to learn about related regulations, requirements and incentives. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I am certain that Saudi Arabia and Pakistan across both public and private sectors can take our partnership to the next level. And by enhancing our current efforts, we certainly will. Now, before I conclude, and on behalf of our delegation, I wish to convey once again our sincere appreciation to the government of Pakistan for receiving us. Such a warm welcome and receive. We really appreciate that. And with that, I thank you all very much for your attention, and we look forward for a fruitful day and hopefully more visits to come. Thank you all very much.
The Pakistani Commerce Ministry has selected a large number of Pakistani companies in relevant sectors for business-to-business meetings with their Saudi counterparts. This can be a good opportunity for Pakistan to boost its economy if and only if opportunity is provided to lower-level exporters rather than allowing all the big sharks to benefit from the trade opportunities.
नाकामी ये होगी कि वो वजीरों और सरकारी अफसरान से मिलकर चले जाएं, और हमारी कामयाबी ये होगी कि हमारे जो कारोबारी जो हमारी कंपनियां हैं पाकिस्तान में, वो आईटी की कंपनियां हों, वो केमिकल्स की कंपनियां हों, उनका एनर्जी से ताल्लुक़ हो, उनका फूड और फूड सिक्योरिटी से ताल्लुक़ हो, उन तमाम कंपनियों को आपस में उनका मेल मिलाप करवाया जाए. उनके व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना दिए गए हैं, उनको आने से पहले जोड़ दिया गया है. इस वक्त हर सऊदी कंपनी का अपना एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना दिया गया है जिसमें पाकिस्तानी कंपनियां भी शिरकत कर रही हैं, जो फैसिलिटेटर हैं सरकार की तरफ से वो भी शिरकत कर रहे हैं. तो ऑलरेडी वो काम जिसको हम पाए तकमील तक पहुंचाना चाहते हैं वो शुरू हो चुका है. वो तशरीफ़ लाएंगे, सुबह एक हम सेरेमनी करेंगे.
On number 2 is the Kisan Ittihad protests and wheat prices. Farmers' body Kisan Ittihad announced to begin countrywide protests from May 10th due to wheat crisis in Pakistan. Kisan Ittihad chairman Khalid Khokhar told a press conference that farmers will march to streets on May 10th to protest the government's choice to import the crop rather than procure it from the local farmers. Khokhar alleged corruption in wheat imports and said that those implicated should be executed.
10 तारीख को बाद नमाज जुमा हम मुल्तान से एहतजाज शुरू कर रहे हैं और ये एहतजाज पूरे पाकिस्तान में जाएगा. हजारों के हिसाब से काश्तकार आएंगे, सैकड़ों ट्रैक्टर ट्रालियां भी होंगी, जानवर भी साथ होंगे, भेड़े बकरी बच्चे भी साथ होंगे, खवातीन भी साथ होंगी, और हमारा एहतजाज इंतहाई पुरअमन होगा. ये भी मैं आपको अर्ज कर दूं. हम ऐसा एहतजाज नहीं करना चाहते कि लोग उसमें तंग हो. हम अपने भाइयों को तंग नहीं करना चाहते, लेकिन अब क्या करें, इसके अलावा हमारे पास कोई चारा ही नहीं है कि काश्तकारों का मौशी कत्ल हुआ 6 करोड़ काश्तकारों का पाकिस्तान में. काश्तकारों के घर की हालत तो जाके देखें. जो गंदम लेके खेत पे बैठा, क्या उसे रात को नींद आती है?
He said that the wheat mafia profited 100 billion from the imports, while Pakistan suffered a loss of almost $1 billion. According to the farmer leader, the reserve rate of wheat was increased in an attempt to adjust the wheat mafia. It has been almost 78 years since independence, and yet we still can't figure out our basic wheat issue. It is a big question mark for those who have been responsible in the handling of our basic crop. Although we are an agricultural country, and despite having bumper wheat crops in the previous years, we still import it. This is not just wastage of foreign exchange, but it also causes a severe impact on the local farmers. On number 3 is the Supreme Court verdict against the reserved seats. The Supreme Court on Monday, 6 May, suspended the Peshawar High Court's verdict of denying the Sunni Ittihad Council reserved seats for women and minorities. The development came as a 3-member bench headed by Justice Mansoor Ali Shah, including Justice Muhammad Ali Mazhar and Justice Athar Minallah, took up a Sunni Ittihad Council appeal against the Peshawar High Court's order. On number 4 is the DGISPR's press conference and PTI's Rauf Hassan's response. The DGISPR made the remarks in a lengthy press conference in Rawalpindi just 2 days before 9th May, which formed the basis of a severe state crackdown against Imran Khan and his party. He said that any dialogue with PTI could happen only if it earnestly apologizes publicly in front of the nation, promises to adopt constructive politics, and forgoes politics of anarchy.
ऐसे सियासी इंतशारी टोले के लिए सिर्फ एक ही रास्ता है कि वो सिद्ध के दिल से माफी मांगे कौम के सामने और ये वादा करे कि वो नफरत की सियासत को छोड़ के तामीरी सियासत में हिस्सा लेगा। और वैसे भी जो बातचीत है वो सियासी पार्टीज को आपस में जेब देती है, इसमें फौज या इदारे बिल्कुल मुनासिब नहीं कि बातचीत में आए।
PTI spokesperson Rauf Hassan termed the press conference by the military spokesperson as being full of contradictions. The party spokesperson claimed that multiple attempts were made to target PTI. He said, however, as time passes and their frustration increases, there has been an increase in the intensity and venom targeting the PTI.
PTI को टारगेट करने की वैसे तो बहुत सी कोशिशें हो चुकी हुई हैं, लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है कि जो वक्त गुजर रहा है और साहब लोगों की फ्रस्ट्रेशन बढ़ रही है, तो ये जो पीटीआई टारगेटिंग का अमल है उसमें और ज्यादा इंटेंसिटी और ज्यादा वेनम और ज्यादा पॉइजन जो है वो नजर आ रहा है।
On number 5 is the news from the first lunar satellite sent by Pakistan. Pakistan's first lunar satellite IQQ entered the moon's orbit successfully on Wednesday, 8th April, after being launched on 3rd April. A senior official of the country's Institute of Space Technology confirmed, saying the important development could pave the way for bigger space missions for the country in the future. Our IQQ was deployed successfully in its orbit at 1:14 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Dr. Khurram Khurshid, the head of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science Department at the Institute of Space Technology and a co-lead on the satellite project, confirmed. In a historic milestone for this program, the first image from the country's lunar mission has also been received. IQQ captured its maiden image of sunlight after 7 days since the launch. The image marks a significant achievement in Pakistan's journey into space exploration. On number 6 is the Indian elections. Polls have opened in the third of the 7-phase Indian elections, with 11 states voting for 93 seats in Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament. The elections primarily pit the National Democratic Alliance, led by two-time Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, against the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, spearheaded by the main opposition Indian National Congress Party. Voters will elect representatives to fill 543 seats of the Lok Sabha. The party or coalition that secures a majority will form the next government. There are about 969 million registered voters for the world's largest democratic exercise over 6 weeks. The results will be announced on June 4th. On number 7 is the Hamas truce ceasefire and Israel's response. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh says the group has accepted a Gaza ceasefire proposal put forward by Qatari and Egyptian mediators. The deal would come in 3 stages that would see an initial halt in the fighting, leading to lasting calm and the withdrawal of Israeli troops from the Palestinian territory. The proposed agreement would also ensure the release of Israeli captives in Gaza as well as an unspecified number of Palestinians held in the Israeli jails. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office rejected the proposal as it is far from Israel's demands. It is time Israel realizes that killing humanity cannot last for long and this inhuman act needs to stop.